Coming up in this episode of the Theme Park News Show, we take a look at an on-ride POV from Steel Curtain at Kennywood. Along with that, I share news from Gardaland on the construction of a new water park, and I talk about the opening of Rise of the Resistance at the Disney parks. All of this and so much more. It's Friday, the 12th of July 2019, and this is the Theme Park News Show. I'm Sean Sandbrook and welcome to the Theme Park News Show. It's been a very busy week for new videos here on our YouTube channel, including lots of new vlogs from our USA road trip. Yesterday we uploaded the vlog from Holiday World, so make sure you check that out. Coming up tomorrow, as in Saturday, it'll be Kings Island. Following that, we've got 2 days at Cedar Point and then 2 days at Dollywood. So lots more to look forward to. And then of course, when we get to Dollywood, that's only halfway through the trip. There's still another few weeks worth of vlogs to come on our YouTube channel from that epic trip, so make sure you stay tuned for those. I also loaded a video a few days ago from Paulton's Park. I actually went for a construction site tour around Tornado Springs, that new area that's opening in 2020. I'm actually going to be working with Paulton's Park throughout the rest of this year, over winter and at the start of next year, leading up to the opening of the new area, and filming various different on-site construction updates, so make sure you check that out if you've not already seen it. And along with that, in terms of park visits over the next few weeks, there's going to be new vlogs coming from Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and quite a few more different parks as we lead up into the summer period, so make sure you stay tuned for all of those. Anyway, it's been quite a busy week for news in the theme park industry, so let's move straight in to news on the tracks. Let's start off then by taking a look at this brand new POV that's just been released by Kennywood of Steel Curtain, their brand new roller coaster that actually opens tomorrow, as in the 13th of July. So if you are going out there, hope you all enjoy it. Of course, we was at Kennywood a couple of weeks back now. The vlog's still not online on the channel because, like I say, we're uploading them all in order. But what I did upload was an off-ride video just showing Steel Curtain testing, and if you've not seen that, make sure you check it out. But yes, we have got a POV. I'm going to put it on for you now so you can see it, and yeah, it starts from the top of the lift hill, as you can see there, and with this coaster straight into that first inversion where you get some brilliant hang time before straight down into the rest of the layout. The coaster itself, built by S&S, it's got more inversions than any other roller coaster in North America, and that's a total of 9 different inversions. But yeah, look at this. I mean, the speed this coaster carries is ridiculous. I remember when we saw the ride testing and I uploaded that footage thinking, blimey, it looks like it's going through some of them elements and inversions very fast. And now we've seen this POV, you can definitely see that. It's not the best quality POV that's been released by the park, so hopefully there is going to be a better one that comes out in the next few days. I'd assume there will be. It's actually the media day today, as in Friday when I've uploaded this video, and then tomorrow is that public opening day. So yeah, very exciting. But look at this, just keeps going, this coaster, absolutely awesome. I look forward to going back and riding it at some point in the future. Maybe when I next go out to Cedar Point, I could nip down to Kennywood for the day. It's only a few hours, and a few hour drive doesn't seem much compared to what we've just done on this road trip, as you'll see in the vlogs and the travel vlogs. Make sure you watch those to see the journeys between the parks. But yeah, with Steel Curtain, looks fantastic, and yeah, like the whole train design on there, it just looks so smooth. It looks like it's intense, it's quite speedy, and yeah, obviously it's got the 9 different inversions. Let me know your thoughts. I know it's been a bit controversial with this one. Some people are saying it kind of looks out of place in the middle of Kennywood, a park that's rich with history. It's got some traditional wooden coasters, and me personally, I think it looks great, but I've not been there before. I don't know what it looked like before that coaster was put in. So it's one of those. Let me know your thoughts. Are you going out there to ride it this summer? Comment down below here on this video. Next up then, let's talk about Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. We've now got some opening dates that have been released by Disney Parks, and yeah, I'm looking forward to at some point getting to ride this, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to be going out to the Disney Parks this year and experiencing this as part of Galaxy's Edge. Now Galaxy's Edge is already open at Disneyland in California, but it's not yet open at Hollywood Studios, which is at Walt Disney World in Florida. But yeah, it's quite interesting with this. So it's going to open at Walt Disney World first, even though that area is not even open yet, on December the 5th, 2019. It's then going to open at Disneyland in California on January the 17th, 2020, which I do find quite surprising. I thought with the area already being open at Disneyland that it would open there first, because obviously it was all ahead with the construction and everything, but obviously not. It's going to be opening at Walt Disney World first and then Disneyland in January. So find that quite interesting how they've done it that order. But yeah, I'm sure there's a reason to it. Maybe at Walt they found an issue at Disneyland during the construction and they've managed to resolve it before it got built at Walt Disney World, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm just speculating there, but it seems very strange how that opened first, however the signature ride of the area isn't going to be ready until the one that they started later. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts on that one. But still, this ride looks incredible. We've got this concept image just here. It's going to be like a trackless style ride system, but in terms of all the theming and everything around there, this is Disney. Like, it's going to be incredible. I can imagine big set pieces, and you can already see a little look at it, how it's going to be there from seeing that concept art. But yeah, very excited to ride it at some point. Obviously, me and Charlotte are going to be at Walt Disney World in September, where we'll actually get to go into Galaxy's Edge because it opens in August. It's all very confusing, isn't it, all these different dates, but it will be opening in August as in the area, and obviously you've got the Millennium Falcon attraction, which is Smuggler's Run, that's already open at Disneyland, will be opening at Walt Disney World in August, so we'll get to see all of that when we're there on our trip in September. Are you following it? It's confusing, isn't it? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing it, and of course I'll get to ride Rise of the Resistance at some point in the future. Let's just talk a little bit about attendance at the Disney parks since Star Wars opened, especially at Disneyland. It's quite interesting because the queue time for Smuggler's Run has been very low, along with a lot of the other rides at Disneyland as well, and California Adventure. Seems like there's been a bit of a decrease in visitor numbers, which is interesting because they've put this huge new area in, but a lot of people don't seem to be going to see it. So there could be many different reasons. There's a lot of annual pass holders that have been blocked out from going over summer because Disney thought it was going to be that busy for regular day guests coming in. Also along with that as well, there's people who are thinking that maybe it's just too expensive now, and of course you've got the obvious reason, and that is that the main attraction, Rise of the Resistance, isn't ready to go. So yeah, it could be any of those, or it could be a combination of them all, but certainly very interesting to see if attendance picks up. But yeah, it's, you know, they've got until January until the main ride's going to be open, so it'll be interesting to see what attendance is like at Disneyland sort of as we go up towards the festive period and so on. But there we go, very exciting news in the Disney parks. I look forward to riding it at some point in the future. Next up then, some news from Gardaland in Italy, as they have now announced that they're going to be opening a Legoland Waterpark. Very interesting move. We knew a water park was coming because of all the teasers around the park. There was banners up around the construction site saying a water park's coming. However, what we didn't know is that it was going to be Lego themed, so that's come as a bit of a surprise, especially because there's nothing to do with Lego at all at Gardaland, and the only Legoland water parks out there are at places where there's already a Legoland park next door, so this is a bit of a different one. But yeah, what we do know is it's going to be located near the Fantasy Kingdom area of the park, which is right near the entrance, and we believe it's going to be a second gate as well, so you can actually enter it through a separate entrance and it'll be different from the park, which definitely makes sense. In terms of where there are already Lego water parks, there isn't any in Europe, so it will be a European first. There's two at their parks in the USA, one at Dubai and one in Malaysia as well, so you know there is a few of these Legoland water parks out there, just not in Europe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all comes together, especially with it being located very close to the rest of the park. I mean, I'm not too sure how it's going to look when you walk around the entrance area, and if there's big towering water slides with like Lego bricks on. Hope it doesn't really take too much away from the entrance, because in my opinion the entrance to Gardaland is stunning. It's probably the best entrance out of all the Merlin parks in my opinion, and they do the show on the roof above the turnstiles, and I really like that. I think it sets the tone for the day, and if you want to see all that or don't have a clue what I'm talking about, check out the vlog from when me and Martin went back in April this year. But yeah, certainly very interesting. Lego, of course, coming in with the water park there. It'd be interesting to see if we see Lego pop up in any other places, especially with that takeover that's currently going through that I spoke about last week. Yeah, of course, this has been planned way before that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see moving forward if we see more Lego implemented into some of the other parks. But who knows? Let me know your thoughts down below. Moving on then, a bit of sad news really about Tato Park. A little bit disappointing. It's not the park's fault though, because they wanted to build 2 brand new roller coasters for 2021. It was going to be a €14 million investment, 2 new coasters by Vekoma, and yeah, unfortunately, the planning permission has been refused for that. Now, the Meath County Council gave the plan go-ahead originally back in February, and then since that, local residents have appealed, mainly due to noise complaints. They can already hear the existing wooden coaster at the park and are saying that basically building these 2 other coasters is going to make the problem worse. And yeah, they've objected against it and it's gone through. So unfortunately, they're not going to be able to build the coasters for 2021, which is a shame. I mean, this could really affect Tato Park moving forward in terms of the visitor numbers. You've got to keep investing when you're a park. I've always said it in these videos, you know, you've got to go out there, support these parks, but you know, to support them, they've got to be putting in new things. So it's a bit of a shame really. I can understand in a way why they might not be very happy with the noise. I know there's been issues over the years with Alton Towers, my local up the road. Anyone who's followed the history of that will know about the Ropers, which was a family that had issues with the noise up there. Luckily that seems to have moved away now, and fingers crossed it's going to stay that way. We've just had a nice wooden coaster and I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, in terms of that, it'd be interesting to see moving forward what Tato Park can do with this one. But yeah, in terms of the appeals board, they've also refused the planning because they say that the area could be at risk of flooding as well, which is strange. And along with that as well, Tato Park have released this statement saying that they're disappointed basically to be informed of the decision to refuse the application for the 2 new coasters at the park. So there we go. It is a shame because we don't really know now where Tato Park's going to go moving forward. Can they maybe put the coasters somewhere else in the park, a little bit further away from some of the residential areas? Or is it a complete no, that's it? Because if they're going to have these issues going forward, we might not see any more big coasters at Tato Park, which would be a shame because we know they've got the money to throw at these things and they've expanded a lot. I mean, I've not been since 2015. I'm due a visit actually. Might have to look at some flights. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it, just to hear this one. You don't hear it that often either, really, coasters getting refused planning. Normally they get accepted, but then with restrictions. But yeah, with this, it's downright refused. Yeah, because of those complaints about the noise and potential flooding. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts as always. And yeah, a bit of a sad one really there about Tato Park. Moving on then to some news from Universal Studios Hollywood, and that is that Jurassic World the ride is now under technical rehearsals. So that's basically like a soft opening. It means it could be open for the full day when you go, or it could be open for 10 minutes. The park are literally testing it out with staff training, how the ride performs, how everything effects wise is working. But if there's any issues, it might close. So if you are going in the next few days, weeks, however long these rehearsals are going on for, then you may get on it, but you also may not as well. So, but yeah, in terms of the ride itself, it opened originally as Jurassic Park the ride in 1996. It then closed in September last year to undergo this overhaul into Jurassic World. Now there's been quite a few changes, and you'll see here, I'll put this image on for you. It used to go through some gates and it used to say "Welcome to Jurassic Park," you know, that tagline from the film. And then you go in and you'd have like these animatronic dinosaurs all towering above you and this big open area with all trees and everything. That's changed now, and you've got this massive like glass at the side. It's themed to be glass. It's basically a screen. However, it looks like it's very well done, and you've got one of the dinosaurs in the water there, and then as the dinosaur splashes about, there's a water effect what comes out and it soaks you on the boat. So apparently it is a bit of a soak and it's not just a little splash. So yeah, that's very different. You then carry on past the waterfall that was there before, various different animatronics, all leading up to that indoor section where you climb the lift hill and down the drop. But yeah, along that journey, there's been quite a lot of other changes as well. There's been updates to some of the animatronics, they've removed some bits of theming, they've put some bits in, and yeah, I'm not too sure what I think about it, to be honest. When you look at the original and look at Jurassic World, it is basically 2 completely separate experiences now. It's not just, I thought it might be more just adding stuff to it instead of taking other bits out. But now you've sort of got to go into this and expect it's a new ride, even though that ride system's not changed since 1996. In terms of the theming, it's very, very different. So I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't mind the fact they've put a screen in there and took out some of the animatronics at the start. Because you know, it does look very impressive, and of course it fits in with Jurassic World now and not Jurassic Park. But yeah, there's other bits that I'm not too sure about. Like they used to have a large car what dropped down, that's been removed, and there's a bit of a blank section down towards that bit before you go into the show scene indoors. So yeah, not too keen of that. But yeah, in terms of that impact at the start, it's something that I'll miss personally, but I'm not too sure. Let me know your thoughts. In terms of inside, it looks like it looks a lot better, to be honest. They've really upped it in there and changed that whole storyline now, and you've got 2 dinosaur animatronics up there and various other ones around before going down the drop. So it looks great, but I'm just not too sure. There was something about the original that I really quite liked, but I'm not too sure. Maybe you've been on it over the past sort of week whilst it's been soft opening, or maybe you're heading out there. Let me know your thoughts. Me personally, I do love the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films, so yeah, I'm just not 100% too sure whether this was a good move or not, but let's see what happens moving forward, because we know there's a Jurassic World coaster coming to Orlando at Universal there, at Islands of Adventure. Are we going to see the River Adventure updated there as well? Who knows? Let me know your thoughts. The final bit of news I want to share with you is from Rulantica, the new water park that's opening this November at Europa Park in Germany. And yeah, here's a look at some construction updates. Firstly there, looking at the slide towers. You've got lots of the structure what's gone into place there now. So colourful, isn't it? With the building there and obviously the Hotel Kronosar in the background. But yeah, it looks great. And obviously them slide towers, there's another one of them going around sort of the other side as well. So yeah, you know, that looks like it's coming on really well. In terms of the car park, loving this. They're actually putting in solar panels above the cars, so that's quite cool, because it means that A, it's great for the environment, B, it's going to make sure that they've got power for the water park from renewable energy using them solar panels, and of course as well, it means when you come back to your car in the summer after a hot day, it's going to be a lot cooler because it's been under a shelter. So lots of positives to that. It must be costing a fortune to put it in, but this is Europa Park, they're not short of cash. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all comes together. But yeah, a bit of a surprise there. I wasn't expecting the solar panels over the car park. So there we go. Thanks to Europa Park for releasing those images officially on their social media. But there we go. That is all for your bit of a news roundup this week of what's going on. And I'll be back next Friday with even more theme park news. It's now time for Where Am I? Where am I? So where was I in last week's photo? Quite a lot of you got this one right, and I'm glad that you did, because it was quite an easy one as we get back into it for the rest of the year with this section. And yeah, it was me standing in front of Kingda Car, the tallest roller coaster in the world. Yeah, and that photo was took a couple of weeks back towards the end of our USA road trip. So that vlog will be coming. It's one of the last ones that will be coming online from the trip. So make sure you stay tuned for that and stick to that playlist where they're all being uploaded in order there for you to see. Anyway then, moving on, let's start off then with another new image. So here we go. Where am I in this photo? It's zoomed in there, of course. It's just for fun. And all you need to do is guess where I am, comment down below. I'll drop in a few hints and clues if I think you guys are struggling, which to be honest, you don't normally need them because there's someone always out there who gets them right. But there you go. Let me know where it is and I'll be back next Friday where I'll reveal exactly where I am in that zoomed in image. It's now time for your theme park moments. Okay then, so this week we've got 49 different photos to go through, so thank you to everyone that has sent them in throughout the past week. And of course, if you want your image to appear in next week's episode, all you need to do is send it to us on Facebook. Just search Theme Park Worldwide, send it as a message. Same with Instagram as well, it's Theme Park Worldwide, and send it over as a message there. And I say it always, make sure you send over the best quality image that you've got. It just means that it looks a lot better for you guys when you're looking back through your pictures here on the video. So here we go then, let's start off, loads to get through. First we've got Jason just here with a Red Force on-ride photo. Then got Samantha and Sean with a Rita on-ride, and loving the name. We've got Jason and Yulia who had a photo there with Charlotte. Then got Ryan at the West Midlands Safari Park just there. Up next we've got Joshua at Thorpe Park. And then we've got Tim and Amy at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. It was great to see you guys and congratulations. Then got Aston with a Shambhala on-ride photo. And moving on from that, we've got Simon and Lewis at Alton Towers. Then got Nico with a Furious Bacco on-ride photo. And then we've got Adam with a photo from the Smiler. Up next, we've got John, Karen, Zach and Darren at the West Midlands Safari Park. And then we've got Dexter, who had a photo there with me. Moving on, we've got Edward outside Mystic Manor. What a ride there at Hong Kong Disneyland. Then we've got Jake and Olivia with a Buzz Lightyear laser blast on-ride photo. Then we've got Jack, who had a picture there with me and Alex. Then we've got Ollie, Lauren and Hayley at Thorpe Park. Moving on, we've got Josh and Danielle in front of Odyssey just there. And then we've got Jack at Thorpe Park. And then we've got Matthew outside Wildfire. Moving on then, we've got Gary and Stacey at Poulton's Park. And then we've got Jenny and Krupa at Thorpe Park just there as well. Then we've got Matthew at Tokyo Disney Sea. And then we've got Joe and Sean at the Alton Towers Dungeon. Loving the name. Up next then we've got Hope and Steve at Alton Towers there as well. And then we've got Rhonda with me, Alex and Brett on our USA road trip. Then we've got the Daring family at King's Dominion. Loving that photo there. And then we've got Danny and Clayton who've got a Fly to the Pterosaur on ride photo. Moving on, we've got Aaron who had a picture there with Mr. Lee Wood. Then we've got Jay who had a picture with me and Alex. Moving on, we've got Alex with a Swarm on-ride photo. And then we've got Charlie, who's watching Theme Park Worldwide there. I'm loving that on the big TV screen in the living room. Thanks for sending that one in. Up next, we've got Daniel at Alton Towers. And then we've got Tia on the Big Dipper. Moving on, we've got Jack, who had a picture with me. And then we've got Jack and Douglas on Tempesto. Love that name. And then we've got Sam with a big one on-ride photo. And then we've got Kirsty and Mitchell on Velociraptor. Moving on from that, we've got James at Leesburg. And to follow that, we've got Elliot and Owen outside 13. Moving on, we've got Kian and family at the Alton Towers Dungeon. Jessica and Taylor outside Wickerman. Then we've got Ed also outside Wickerman. And then we've got Izzy with a Pirate Falls on-ride photo. Then we've got Warren with an Icon on-ride photo. And then we've got, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing this right, Ogla and her dad outside Tarun at Phantasialand. Do apologise if I said that wrong, my pronunciation's terrible. And then we've got Tammy and Chris who had a picture with me, Alex and Brett. And then we've got Harvey and Chris with a Heidi the Ride on-ride photo there as well. Our final photo is from Ethan, who had a picture with me and Charlotte's Brick on the plaza at Alton Towers. So there we go. Thanks to everyone that has sent in the photos for this week. Get them in for next week on Facebook and Instagram, and also your birthdays. So a big happy birthday to Ruben and Raphael. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for watching Theme Park Worldwide. That is all for this week's episode of the Theme Park News Show. I'll be back next week with another brand new episode. And in the meantime, there's going to be loads of new vlogs to come from our USA road trip, so stay tuned for those. Like I say, up next tomorrow, as in Saturday, there's going to be Kings Island. We're then into Cedar Point and Dollywood. So all of that to look forward to this week here on Theme Park Worldwide. I'm Sean Sandbrook, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you next week.